Hello, and welcome to Stop Now, a social experiment where we stop, listen, and share. I am one of your hosts, Nate Milton, and I am so happy to be here with all of you this week. This is a big week, not only the beginning of the first week of the summer. So I'm excited to see what summer 2022 has in store for us. But we can't think about the summer without talking about what we got going on today. We are back with another great show filled with great guests and great conversations. But before we get to our guests, let me pull back the curtain again, because behind the curtain, you might see a man. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain, the man in the mask, the voice of the voiceless. It's JK. JK, how are you today, my friend?
I'm good, Nate. How are you?
I'm good. It's been a long week, but a good week, and I'm glad we get to kind of either end the week or begin the week, depending on how you look at Sunday. Like for some people, it's the end of the week. For some, it's the beginning. But we get to cap it off with another fun edition of the show.
Yeah, absolutely, Nate. And it's a continuation part two. I believe we have a special guest with us today, and we are going to talk about We the People, and also Thomas here with us, and you can introduce William as well. Thank you,
Yes,
Thomas.
Yeah, thanks for having me back again. We did an interview here 2 weeks ago, I think.
Yeah, about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, and so check out the other video about wethepeopleinc.com. And in case you missed it, wethepeopleinc.com is a website that comes from the plot line of the book, We the People Inc. So we built the website from the book, and today we have the author of the book, We the People Inc., William Miriek. Hey, William, good to have you here.
Thank you. Great to be here. Thank you.
Yes, we've been excited and looking forward to this ever since we first talked to Tom, William, to be able to have you on to talk about the book and maybe your inspiration behind the book. But I guess for the audience that might be being introduced to you for the first time, can you tell them a little bit about yourself and your background and what inspired you to write this book?
Sure. I'm a numbers guy. I worked in accounting for like 40 years. And about 10 years ago, I was diagnosed with cancer of the larynx and then the esophagus. So I was in the hospital for a while, and I was laid up, and I ran out of things to do. And this thing had been on my mind for decades. What's wrong with this country? What is wrong? It's not the country that we're told about the Statue of Liberty tells us about. So I started thinking it's mostly, it's politics. We can't get our leaders to do anything we want. They all serve the same master. It doesn't matter if you're this party, that party. They don't care. They just want to make money. That's all they care about. And meanwhile, all this terrible stuff keeps going on, inequality, trafficking, crime, you name it, it goes on unnoticed. Nothing's done about it except lip service, which doesn't do any good. And this guy, so I thought about it, and I always thought, what can be done? The game is rigged. I give up. Nothing can be done. But I was in a hospital for 6 months, and I'm laying there. And finally came to me, hey, maybe something can be done. What? I don't know. Maybe something. I kept thinking about it in bed in the hospital. And it came to me that, well, you can fight fire with fire, right? And so they have money on their side. So somehow we got to get some money into this somehow. So, well, we got 350 million people in this country. If each one only gave $1, right off the bat, you got $350 million, right? What if they gave $10, $50, whatever they could afford? Just think about, I'm a numbers guy. Just think about how much money you can build up just by doing that. Even if you get only half the people involved, maybe you could have enough money that you could have enough clout and power to do things the way they ought to be, the way we all think they ought to be, the way common sense tells you they ought to be. with liberty and justice for all as our not our anthem, but our Pledge of Allegiance says. But so, and that's how I got inspired to do that. And the stories about what one man's idea of how this could happen, his vision, and the tribulations along the way, and setting up. It starts off by setting up a corporation called We the People Inc. Incorporated. That means, and everybody gets a share. If you donate whatever you can, you get a share, and everybody gets to vote on a secret website what they think should be done next. And I do admire Stop Now, for example. They are a wonderful cause, and this is exactly the type of thing that would be discussed in the website with people who are members of what can we work on. There's a lot. Obviously, there are many things that can be worked on, but that would be one of the top ones, I think. Stop some of the things that should not be happening. And that's what it's all about, and that's what the book is about.
And I think it's interesting, just kind of going through the thought process behind it, William, and just kind of seeing America for what it is, because I think a lot of times we kind of get caught up in the idea of America versus the reality of America. We get caught up in, to steal a line or borrow a line from Hamilton, the notion of a nation versus the actual nation itself. So how have you managed to not be disillusioned, though? Not be, like you said, like, what can I do? Just throw your hands up. What made you want to keep going forward with this?
Oh, well, like I said, most of my life, I did put my hands up and say, what can I do? I mean, starting as a teenager, reading the New York Times, seeing that so full of, what? I mean, I couldn't, from the first time I started reading for that whole year, and I finally gave up. I think it was my sophomore or junior year in high school. I said, this stuff is all BS. That's all it is. Ending the war in Vietnam. Give me a break. How come so many body bags are coming back? What are you guys talking about? And the war should never have occurred to begin with. So forget, I started mainstream media. I knew it was a joke from what that, I hate to tell you, but my high school days were like 50 years ago. So we're talking about a long time ago. And so, but in that hospital, I was laying, and that was one of the good things that came out of, of getting cancer. First of all, you get an awareness for life. You see your own mortality, and then you enjoy every day more. Everything tastes better. And by the same token, it also gave me a chance to think about these things, which I had always given up hope. But this guy in my head came up with an idea, and I said, something that could work. So then the rest is history, as they say.
And Thomas, we talked a little bit about this last time you were on with us a couple of weeks ago, but I guess now that, we're here with William, we can kind of get deeper into, how the story affected you. Like when you first heard about this, what was your kind of initial reaction? What were your initial thoughts about We the People Inc.?
So the concept itself grabbed me, and then reading the story, it's very well done. So you identify with the characters as you're reading, you sympathize, and the kind of emotional content of the book really carries through and helps you connect with the idea more. So the idea itself of what they were able to accomplish together. And I will say it's in the perspective of, technically it's a third person narrator, but they really follow closely a certain, couple of people. And so, but then you realize more and more people are getting involved, and you feel as amazed as they do that, I can't believe this is catching on, so, because it's a great idea, right? But we could only wish and hope that, mass adoption could happen So it inspired me to say, you know what, let's give it a try. And I spoke to Bill about it. We had already been in the process of working towards publishing the book through Joe's Writers Club. And I said, I think I can make this website. What do you think? And he says, what do you mean, from the book? And I said, yeah, let's do it. Let's make it real. And I don't know, Bill, what do you think when I brought that idea up to you?
I said, well, let's give it a shot. But then I said, wow, this is so unreal. It's like it stepped out of the book, and it's like futuristic. You know, the book takes place in a not so distant future. So things exist in the book that don't exist right now. But you know, the crypto stuff is more prevalent, and NFTs are more prevalent, and so it's like all these things wrapped up into one little package. I thought it was great. It stepped right out of the book.
It's life imitating art, and then I think, you know, yes, and then when you're talking about the advantages, I guess, of today, you know, this is something that might not have been able to be even realized or thought of 20 years ago, or 30 years ago, or 50 years ago, because of how quickly technology has kind of advanced everything, William.
Absolutely. And technology actually is one of our biggest hopes right now. I mean, we could never reach billions of people the way we can with the internet today. Literally billions of people can watch something on the internet. And they do sometimes, of course. Fortunately, it's like sporting events or things like that. But if it could be something more important, something that could actually help humanity, then why not? If you can get billions of people, never before in our history have we been able to do that. And that's why there's always hope, and hope actually can grow stronger when you realize the power of the good power it can bring, as well as, of course, the bad power. We won't talk about that for today, but we'll talk about the good it can bring.
Yes. Well, I will, I guess, kind of talk about the bad just in this aspect, William, because you mentioned the media earlier, and, you know, trustworthy sources of information, and how money has kind of gotten into everything. Politics has gotten into everything. I'm noticing right now, you know, I'm 40 years old, William, and I've, you know, kind of seen society from my vantage point, you know, particularly as a Black man in America, kind of make advancements. But right now it feels like we're also maybe taking some steps back in the way that we're all connected. Do you feel like people are too tribal now? And, you know, I'm a Republican, I'm a Democrat, I believe in this, I believe in that. Are we too separated, William, to actually get together and make something like this happen?
Yes, we are, and that's no accident. No, nothing. I don't believe in accidents. I don't believe in coincidences. There's an old saying, divide and conquer, right? And so the powers that be, they know that, 350 million of us can beat them, right? We can whoop them. but even with their guns, we still whoop them. I mean, you know, we still, like the French Revolution or the American, they were outnumbered, but they kept going and they won. So their powers that be, they know that we cannot take them. But so what do? They just divide us, right? And so they come up with these ideas. You get on the right, you get on the left. Oh, the right, we got to kill all those right people. We got to kill all those left people. This is no accident. This hatred and bitterness, no accident. So they do this on purpose. It's all staged. If you ask me, it's all staged. These guys are probably laughing their asses off when they get together and say, look, we made them hate each other even more. So, and then they get away with all the stuff that they do. Like I won't even go into all the stuff that they do. But it's all driven by one thing, and that's greed for money. And that's all they care about. They'll do it. They'll sacrifice lives. You've seen them sacrifice lives. And you know, one guy gets killed, and then 18 people have to suffer, right? There's family, his friends, maybe 100 people, maybe not 18, maybe 100 people have to suffer when you kill one guy. And they don't stop at one guy. So, you know, and then they maim people, they start wars that should never start. You know, the list goes on and on and on, the things that they do. And
Mm.
why do we let them get away with it? Because we are divided. Divided. A house divided will not stand. All right?
Mhm.
That's Abraham Lincoln, I think, said that.
Yeah.
I forget. I think it was him. And a house divided will not stand, and they know that, and that's why they keep doing it. And we keep falling for it. But one of these days we're gonna wise up. I hope it's soon. I hope I live to see it. But one of these days we're gonna wise up.
You mentioned sports a little bit earlier, and I've got my Falcons flag behind me, and so I feel like a lot of politics right now, William, and you can speak to this too, Tom, is we're on teams, and there are things that you see on somebody else's team that you would never accept. But if the person on your team wearing your uniform, wearing your colors, does something just as bad as them, you let it slide because, hey, that's my guy. Or that's my girl. They're representing my beliefs. And I feel like there's got to be some way to get us out of that. I just don't know how. And maybe, Tom, like this is something like We the People Inc. could be the start of letting people know we're more connected. We're more alike than the media or, a politician would have you think, because at the end of the day, we all want most of the same things. We want clean water. We want good jobs. We want, affordable health care. We want our kids to be safe, but it's the other stuff that kind of gets in the way with the noise.
I will say, using your sports analogy is really good. But I would say we're not really on teams. We're the fans of teams, right? And the players on these teams are not really the best sportsmen that excuse the sports players that are they could be, right? And so let's start practicing intramural politics. Let's get together, and on the positive note, without thinking about all the negative, there's a lot of good, as Bill says, fight fire with fire. Well, let's fight it with some positive fire. Let's get there and solve some problems and take a few things off of the plate of the government that gives them excuses to feather in some what do they call those when they tag things on? They want to, in order to fund education, we're going to have to also add this,
pork.
this, and this.
Pork barrel.
Yeah. Right. So, if we decided we're going to we have enough funding to make an efficient education system, there's plenty of private education. Well, what if we privatized education so well that we didn't need, or rather, I'm not saying that they should get rid of the public education system, but we could prove it, and then maybe we come up with a better system. I'm imagining right now. I'm not an education expert, so the point is people with expertise and talents given this kind of platform and like a sort of a sandbox, if you will, for social initiatives, I think is very important because I don't know of a Sam. I mean, I wish our town halls had social impact sandboxes right there, but I don't know of that existing. So now it does. We just have to get some more membership and start talking and build up our coffers so that by 2024, when we start voting on propositions and start making propositions, we have some funding to allot to them. So.
Yeah. And that's a great, kind of goal to look forward to. But in the immediate future, we are weeks away from the launch of We the People Inc. in terms of the book and folks getting a chance to read this. And Bill, like what are you most excited about with this? What do you hope people take away from your work when they're able to read this?
Well, that's a good question. Thanks, Nate. I would love for people to get the idea, the spirit of the book, which, getting back to your sports teams, it's like the idea is, well, let's create a new team. Let's call it Team Humanity. How about that? And let's start a new race. You know, we got all these different races. Let's start a new race. Let's call it the human race, right? We all have 99% the same DNA. Are we going to quibble about 1% DNA? Are you kidding? I'm a numbers guy, and I don't see the odds and percentages in fighting over 1% when we have 90% in common, 99% in common. I don't get it. Why can't we fight all on the same team? Why do, thus the good against bad? How about that? How about we think about what's best for all of us? And even game theory suggests that to obtain the best outcome for all, we all cooperate, and then we all end up with the best possible outcome for us individually, right? So why not do that? If it's in your own interest, why not do it? And it makes sense. Every child will tell you, makes sense if we all work together and cooperate, as opposed to fight each other, and nothing ever gets done that way. So common sense, that's all I hope people read and say, that makes sense. Why don't we just all cooperate?
Yeah. And I agree. Like, I feel like there are so many things that we all agree on, regardless of race, religion, politics. There's general things I think every American can agree on, or most of us can agree on. And then there's the little things that, that we quibble about. But if we can agree on the big things that we all kind of think about, I think that's a step forward. And to your point, Thomas, when you're talking about the website, there's so many different gifts and talents that people have, and they may have never thought to use it in this fashion before. Like, I'm not a numbers guy. I barely passed math in high school and college. I just did enough, William, to get that degree. But I'm a good communicator. And so I can lend that to moving things forward. There might be somebody out there who is great with the technology and the science. And how can we use the science and technology to move us forward? So I feel like there's a lot of different ways that people can contribute once this gets going and starts flourishing. So it is really exciting. You've given me hope today, William. Like, I didn't have a lot of hope when we started talking this week, but now the more that we're talking about it, I'm starting to feel a little more hopeful for us as Americans.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. There is hope. And then guess what? You're giving me more hope too. Say it's contagious. It's very contagious. I already had hope, and you're giving me some more. I love it.
Yes.
Let's all keep doing that. Let's all keep looking at positive things, not quibble. Who cares about little things, right? You could have pork chops, and I could have spaghetti, and who cares? That's not what's important. What's important, like you said, is safety for our own children, a place where we can thrive, a place where we don't have to worry about our jobs, we don't have to worry about our health care. That's what like you said, that's what we all care about. So let's get our minds, put all our talents. Oh, thank God we're not all numbers guys, right? Thank God. Otherwise, nothing would ever get done, right? We need a little bit of everybody to get things done. Otherwise, they won't. Right? If everybody's chiefs, no Indians, if everybody's planners and nobody can put things together, white collar, blue collar, we need everybody. We need everything to be working together to get things done. And that's another, I hate to say it, but it seems like common sense to me. But, like you said before, we get blinded, we get caught up in a whirlwind of things that, blind us, and then we can't see the forest from the trees. So we got to take a good hard look at ourselves and what we are doing, what each one of us can do. And the biggest thing of all is what one or two or three people can do together. If they work together, is amazing. What thousands of people can do is unbelievable what a few people working together can do.
Yeah. And then just thinking about the potential for this, Thomas, what are you most excited about? Like what how are you feeling as we're getting closer to the launch of the book, as well as, you know, what you have planned for the site going forward?
I'm excited to see what develops from discussions. Right now, we have people posting articles, and it was interesting to me what, you know, topics are coming up, and we're getting a diverse group. I think some of the most political people have joined, so they're really polarizing in a way, but no one's fighting, and that's good. They're stating their opinions, and everybody's reading and acknowledging without, you know, fighting over ideologies. So I think that's a positive note. But I'm interested to see, as soon as people start collaborating and deciding on what issues we can come and tackle together. That's what excites me. I do want to mention real quick, this is regarding the website and the book release. The book is available for pre-order, even though it's coming out on July 4th. And you
that's very savvy marketing, by the way, Tom. I see what you did there with July 4th.
No, I want to. Oh, well, yeah. I mean, it's relevant to the topic of the book for sure. Yes. But I do want to mention, you know, if everybody listening can go and place an order for the book, you will get honorary membership with the purchase of the book. So that doesn't give you full membership where you can vote on propositions that are funded with the membership fees. You can join and become a full member, and actually membership comes with the book. So if you want to do that, you'll be providing for the trust fund that we're using to fund propositions, and you'll have a vote on those propositions. However, if you want to just participate in the discussion, you know, just get a copy of the book, and then that gives you access to participate and be a part of the community. And there may even be opportunities for volunteering in the future to get your full membership, because, you know, not everybody has you know, money for a membership, you know, but we want to give as many opportunities to get people involved as we can. So we figure, you know, $9.99 for the Kindle, $9.99, and you know, it's just to make sure that you're serious enough if you want to actually be involved. You know, you're not just gonna, if you're paying $9.99, you're probably not just gonna come and try to throw the whole a wrench in the whole system, right? So read the book, get inspired, be a part of the action that we're building, and help us. We need your help to make this into a reality.
And really quickly, before I bring JK back in here, Thomas, I'm not sure if we talked about this the last time, because sometimes, you know, what is time these days? I can't remember what I had for breakfast yesterday. But did we talk about in terms of like a framework of monitoring, like you just said, like if people aren't serious, like in terms of kind of, will there be folks that are monitoring, like, hey, this is not a productive discussion? Like how do you kind of navigate those waters while still giving people the ability to express themselves?
Well, everybody's a moderator who's a full member. So if you've paid the full membership, you have the right to flag certain posts that you would, you know, deem to be spam, I guess. And yeah, there's a review process if you're, you know, so we're trying to decentralize this as much as possible. Currently, we're just using a very normal basic forum structure. However, in the roadmap, when we have it fully decentralized, you know, all of those comments go on the blockchain, and it'll be up to your algorithm to filter out the spam. So the spam can exist, but basically anybody that's serious won't see any of that spam because
Gotcha. Okay.
yeah, it won't come up for you.
Okay.
So that's in the roadmap for 2024, 2025. 2024 is when we first start even making propositions.
Mhm.
So until then, we're gonna have open discussions, and everybody is who's a member is a moderator. So if there's gonna be problems or moderators are trying to cause trouble, then maybe the moderators need to get moderated. So
who watches the Watchmen?
it's kind of comes down to that's where we're going to be voting at that point. And if enough moderators, everybody's a moderator. So if enough moderators come together and decide that this person's spamming their spam, then
Right. Okay.
it comes down to majority vote at that point. Yeah.
And again, like, not to be negative, but we do live in a world with bots and with
But no, you see, but if the bots want to pay, first of all, the bots will have to pay full membership to be able to do that. Honorary membership doesn't give you moderator privilege, so you can participate in the discussion. And I don't think a bot's going to pay $9.99 and then go through the trouble of sending the receipt for your Kindle purchase to spam our forums, right? So that's why we put that in place there.
Gotcha.
Now, bots can try to subscribe. I don't even think that they're not even able to subscribe to our newsletter at this point because we have some protections against bots. But
okay, good.
The worst they could do is make us send extra emails at this point. So yeah, sorry, I'm taking over the conversation on some techie stuff. I didn't mean to go there.
No, you're good. It was just something that popped into my mind when we were having that discussion, Thomas. But I did mention JK. JK, you were here last time when we talked to Thomas, and now we've got William with us talking about this great book. Any questions for William or Thomas, JK?
Yeah, thank you. William, as an author, what is your favorite character in the book, and what inspired you as such? Any spoiler for our readers?
No, I guess the favorite character would have to be the protagonist. His name is Bobby, but my second favorite is his daughter, who actually inspires him to do what he does. So he's the guy who comes up with the idea, right? Why don't we all have one man, one voice? And when I say one man, obviously one man, one woman, one child, one voice. So that's his idea, but how does that get done when we have this rigged political system? How does that work with, like you said, the pork that goes into every bill and all the things that are done behind the scenes, the wars, the wasted money, everything. And we wake up with a national debt in the 20, 30 trillion. And that our grandkids have to pay. I mean, that's so. He's the guy who comes out. I have to say, obviously, that I like all the characters, but my favorite character would be him because he comes up with that idea, which doesn't seem, if you think about it, doesn't seem so unnatural. But
Well, and thank you, William. Thank you. That's wonderful. I mean, I don't want to spoil the entire book asking for the entire story about it. Or is there something with a hope it ends, or is it a tragedy, or what can we expect in that?
It's most certainly is not a tragedy. It's open-ended, but it's definitely on the hopeful side. The whole idea is that we unite, we, the people, Inc. Incorporated, right? It's the idea that we all, well, it focuses on the United States, but, with a little imagination, you can see that this might go global. I mean, if it works well here, other people are going to say, hey, look what those guys are doing over there. And they might do the same thing. Eventually, like Star Wars, you have the Federation of Planets. So it'll be planet Earth and a whole bunch of other planets might all join in the same thing. I don't know. But it starts in the US, and if it can work here, and you don't know at the end, it starts to work, but you don't know if it's going to work. But with a little imagination, if something starts to work and the first few things begin to click, then you know that bird is going to fly, right? So it's a hopeful book, put it that way.
I was wondering why we've been getting signups from .Mars emails.
And then that's the thing right there. And again, not to put too much extra work on you, William, when this book isn't even out yet, but have you thought about, maybe a follow-up to this? Have you thought about expanding kind of this world, or is this the kind of situation where you've had this idea, you've written this book, and then you want to move on to a different story to tell?
To tell you the truth, I haven't put too much thought into either one. I already have a little bit in about a sequel, maybe, but because only the first few steps I worked, I could easily imagine some more steps to give it, so that people say, hey, actually this could work. Because right now it's just an idea. Already it's a very good idea that could work, but you need the mechanics, right? You need to show how A is going to go to B, B is going to go to C. So this book goes from A to B to C. Well, maybe we could have another book that goes to D, E, F to show more validity to this theory, that this theory could in fact work. Although I may or may not do that, but it's in my head. So I'm not thinking about anything else right now. So,
I didn't want to finish, our conversation today, William, without first of all just saying, we are glad that you are here. We're glad that you are still with us. But going back to that time when you were in the hospital, and I'm trying to figure out the right way to kind of word this for you, William. But were there moments where you kind of were like, this system, because I'm specifically talking kind of about the medical system and healthcare. Were there times when you're like, this is not a system that works? Was that kind of maybe something that got into your head while you were thinking about We the People Inc.? We're like, the way we take care of people, the way we treat our sick, the way we treat our young, our elderly, we can do so much better. Is that kind of what got you in this headspace?
I think more or less was the extra time I had to stop and not do anything else and focus on, the thing that angered me most, which is, why are we going down this path? So maybe a little bit to some degree to healthcare. I think I probably could have gotten better, if I was a millionaire, I would have gotten better healthcare probably. So yeah, that's in the back of my mind, but I already knew that. I didn't have to be in a hospital to figure that out. But it did sting me a little bit. Say, hey, look, you probably wouldn't have had these complications. I had a lot of complications, which is why I was there for like so many months. But yeah, I did think, I bet you one of these 1%ers, they would have done better, probably. You never know, but probably. So, but all these things have been festering inside me for a long, long time. Why can't we do better? I know why, but I mean, what can we do to stop those people from ruining the lives of everybody else? Why do we all have to work like slaves so that these guys can be rich? It doesn't, to me, it doesn't make sense. And it's not like they have superpowers, right? They don't. They're just humans. They're just bloody humans like we are. So why are we listening to them? And why are we bowing to them? I think we should knock a few heads. Well, let's not get violent, but I think we should figuratively knock a few.
Yes. Metaphorically knock a few heads.
There you go.
But yeah, I'm really excited about. Oh, go ahead, JK.
No, I just had one quick question to Tom. So, yes. Tom, was it like easier for you to build a website from the book, or is it like some prequel for making it as a movie, or as you said, right, making it as an open platform and partnering with like-minded people and making it big, going global was the intention. Uh, what is your thoughts on that? Like, why did you decide to go with the current format of the website as such?
Well, the website, I did actually make it anybody can register. In the book, it's pretty much focusing on USA. And I think out of convenience of making it easier to build, I allowed anybody global to register. However, and that's good. And actually, what I realized there was when it comes time to voting, everybody will have to KYC, and actually we call that Know Your Citizen. So technically, if you want to make something in your jurisdiction, if it's another country, since we're talking about privatized actions, and only people in your jurisdiction there would be able to make that proposition and enact on it. I can't say, listen, like don't get yourself in trouble, don't break the law. We're gonna try to have people involved who are experts in civic action at some point.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, please join us and create a forum post about it if that's something that you know. But in general, I think hopefully in many of the world countries in this world, you at least have the freedom to have a business and provide a service, right? And so somebody in a jurisdiction like that, if their citizens were to decide, well, we want to have a health clinic and we have the funding we've collected together, let's vote, let's build this clinic here, you should be able to do that. And you're not opposing your government or breaking any laws. And we're not here to try to oppose our governments, but we want to do is set a good example for our governments.
Mm. And again, the book is We the People Inc. The site, We the People Inc. As we kind of start to wind down here a little bit, guys, I just wanted to say that I'm excited for the launch. I know our viewers are excited for the launch. William, you talked about you wanted people to feel hope when they read the book. How do you feel now that we're kind of really close to the launch of everything? How are you feeling now? Just personally.
I guess I'm anxious about it. I'd like to see how it does. I hope it catches on, and I hope people do get inspired to look at themselves and to see, well, am I doing the best I can for all of humanity? So am I just focusing on myself and my little needs or am I thinking about what do we all want? What do we all need? Let's think more about we are one race and one people. And let's, if we can all think about how we can get what we want in a unified way. There's no stopping us. You look at what humanity has done. We've sent people to the moon. We've sent things to Mars. Can you imagine what we could do? Why can't we do this on Earth? I mean, what's stopping us besides this greed of such a few people? I mean, we could easily, beat them at their own game. So that's what this book is about, beating them at their own game. And I'm hoping that people see that and that people get some hope from that. That's, and then what they do with that hope is up to them. But
right.
I hope that they do, then take actions, whatever actions it is. Every little bit helps. That's the way I look at it.
Really quickly before I go to Tom, it kind of reminds me, William, of 2019, 2020, like the kind of early days of the pandemic, where you did see some of the worst kind of qualities in human beings, the selfishness and greed, but you also saw a lot of people coming together and helping each other out and being charitable and being connected. And it's like, why does it have to take something as bad as that, or a hurricane or a natural disaster, for us to work together?
Yeah, that's funny you said that. I guess that's the way it always is. I mean, a hero is made out of the things that challenge him, right? I mean, and we could all be heroes because we are challenged by so many things. And so let's all be brave. Let's all do what we know is right. Follow your heart, follow your mind, and I guess it's like you said, it's the tough things that challenge us. What doesn't kill us will make us stronger, right? So it's unfortunate, but maybe it's good that we have some bad things, because that'll stir us up, and maybe get us to focus on things we normally wouldn't have even thought about, maybe. So that's the good. That's how you turn the good into the bad into the good, is what I meant to say.
Absolutely. And I was going to say we can't end it any better than that, but we do have to wrap things up. So I can't just leave it right there. I wish I could. I wish I had an edit button, JK, and we could just roll credits right after that. Because I think a lot of what you said right there, William, is we can all, be heroes in our communities and in the lives of the people that we reach. In terms of the launch, though, Tom, we talked about William and how he was feeling in advance of the book. How are you feeling right now, going on this journey with William? What are you feeling as we're a couple weeks away from the launch of We the People Inc.?
I feel good. Yeah. I hope that we get more people to sign up, so that way we can start, making an impact. I think it already is beginning to happen, and the website has only been up for probably a few weeks, technically a few months since like the first prototype was live for registration. But yeah, we've got in a nice number of people to sign up. I guess come sign up. That's all I'm saying. If you're watching this video, do the honorary membership and get involved in the conversation. And then at very least, you got a really good book to read. And who knows, maybe we'll actually be able to make a change in this world.
Definitely. And we will post, I'm sure JK will have the links and everything in the notes. JK, any final thoughts as we wrap up on this momentous day, Father's Day, Juneteenth? Any thoughts today as we kind of wrap up?
We are good, Nate. Thank you, Tom and William. It's wonderful, right? As Nate mentioned, right? Juneteenth being the special day we are recording this, and the launch is on July 4th, which is also an Independence Day. It's a prominent thing, like for us to go on a journey on this, and hope we all have a wonderful success on this, and wish you all a good luck. And thank you for honoring us and being with us today.
Yes.
Thank you so much for having us. It's been an honor, Jake. Nate and JK. It's been an honor being with you. I admire what you're doing, and continued success. Wish you the best.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for your time, William. We really appreciate it. And again, the book, We the People Inc., as well as the site, July 4th, the big day. You can pre-order the book now, as Thomas mentioned, but July 4th is going to be the big day for We the People Inc. Again, thank you, William, and thank you, Thomas, for spending some time with us this week. Thank you to everybody watching. Again, just sign up, and we'll have all the notes and everything. You can probably go to stop-now.org. I haven't given out the website in a while, so I need to get back into that practice for more information on this. So for William, for Thomas, and for JK, I am Nate. We hope everybody enjoyed this week's episode, and bye for now.